Kendrick, I'm so happy you're back.
I felt so bad you had to do Atlanta by yourself last week, which I know you're more than capable of doing.
No, it
But
didn't feel right.
I know it's us. So like I know it didn't feel right. Y'all don't know I was on an Alaskan vacation. I know that sounds like a lie, but it's the truth. I actually I was on an Alaskan cruise. I was let me see, last Sunday. Oh, I just started too. So yeah. So I was just like leaving Seattle and headed to like Skagway or some Juneau. God, who only knows? I don't know. Who knows? That week was a blur. I have no idea what happened. So,
well, here's something that I know. I said it on behalf of both of us, and I'm going to say it again.
Okay.
What we will not be doing here is feeling bad for Martell Holt. Nor will we be referring to him as a king.
No,
that
most
deserves
certainly not.
That deserves respect from the women. No.
I will be referring to him as some things, but certainly not a king. Believe that. Yeah.
So this is just to get a little cheesy. This is actually very special for Kendrick and me, you see, because Atlanta was what brought us together. And I'm going to tell a little story.
Okay.
I had a vision in my head last year because Kendrick and I had recorded together many times up to that point, but just intermittently.
Yes.
But I had a vision. I said, I want to do Atlanta, but I just feel like if Kendrick and I did a full season of Atlanta together, like it just would be magic by the time the season's over. Like you develop such a rapport with someone when you record a lot. And then throughout the season, you start to get like inside jokes going that you guys came up with and stuff. Just because I've seen other podcasters do it, but I'm like, it's such a big undertaking to ask someone to do an entire season. Like this is a weekly commitment you're about to say yes to. So I had my phone in my hand and had a notes draft up and wrote out the text to send Kendrick because I was like, this can't sound too crazy. This has to sound like I'm going to give him an out. Like he has to be able to say no. And so it took me 2 hours to get the guts to send it to you. I had to send it to someone else. Like, does this sound psychotic? Like, and had we not done that, Kendrick, I really think that really changed I think it changed the show for me, but not only was it special for the show, it was when I launched my YouTube channel.
Yes.
Because originally it was only available on the YouTube channel. And we got like 35 views.
Yes. Yes.
So it wasn't even beneficial to Kendrick at first because like no one was even watching it. So thankfully, like I think I was like, until I get 1,000 subscribers, then I won't release it on the pod. Thankfully, it wasn't too long.
Yeah.
But it really changed everything. Like suddenly all my reviews were like, I love when you and Kendrick are on. I love when you have Kendrick. Don't ever let Kendrick go. And it really created a whole different relationship for you and me. Like we're like best friends.
Yes.
This is really special that now we're on season 2 of doing Atlanta. This is our show.
Yes, this is our jam right here. Sundays are our thing. So yes, and you know what? It's usually another Sunday show that we like kind of weave into the conversation too, because it's been everything from like House of the Dragon to The Last of Us, now Martha's Vineyard. Like it's always a something else Sunday. So I think Sundays are just kind of magical for us. And I remember the day I got that text message too. I think I was out of town. I was coming back like to Memphis from somewhere, and I got I literally was about to board my gate. Like I was at my gate about to board the plane, and I got your message, and I was like, "You said, will you cover the whole season with me? Do not feel obligated to say yes. I promise you it'll be okay, but just like if you want to." But I remember I've gotten so much like positive feedback every single other time we recorded. Like not even just from like people listening, but like I remember other people like who podcasts that I love, like Taria and other people are like, oh my God, your episode with Emily was so good. Y'all need to like do something regular and all that kind of stuff. So when you sent it, I was like, it wasn't even like, I know you were like stressing about it, but it wasn't even a thought to me. I was like, sure, let's freaking do it. So yes, it was an amazing thing. Now we get to talk about Martell and
now we get to weave in Love and Marriage Huntsville, and because Hendrik already covers Love and Marriage Huntsville, and he's much more of an expert on Love and Marriage Huntsville, so that's why I'm so happy you're here, because like I only spoke to enough of what I could, but I don't even know the half of it.
I am listen before, because I know we gave the disclaimer at first, said he will not be a king over here. When we get to the this is episode, we're talking about episode 2, so yeah. So we can, at any point you want me to give kind of a brief like 1 minute rundown of the Martell of it all, I will gladly do so,
because it's it's bad. This guy is horrible.
Yes. Yes.
Horrible.
I don't know if y'all remember, but the reaction online was like a resound when we first found out they were like possibly dating. It was a resounding like, oh, that is a like physically hot couple, but Sheree, you're determined to like have the worst for yourself, and I don't know what this is about. Like, I would think that after dating Bob Whitfield, after dating Tyrone, which you're like, okay, can't possibly get worse than Tyrone. We can only go up from here. Sheree says, oh, bitch, you haven't seen anything yet. And then all of a sudden,
I'll just do a different category of bad.
Exactly. I won't do the bad that the federal system knows. I'll do the bad that you know now. So it's like, okay, all right, fair.
You're right. Fair.
Right.
Okay, so we're going to start with Martha's Vineyard, and then we'll go into Atlanta. Timestamps will be in the description, so check those if you want to skip. But I highly suggest you do not miss out on Martha's Vineyard. It comes on right after Atlanta, so if you're watching live, just let it play right through and watch Martha's Vineyard. Get in on this show early so that the ratings get them a second season, and pray for Family Karma season 4.
Yes. Oh my God. Our other show that we cover.
I'm shocked, actually.
I was kind of like, I had bad like feelings when I saw
Kendrick always knows, because so many of Kendrick's favorite shows don't get picked up. Yes. So he knows.
I always watch the stuff that no one else does. I'm like, God damn it. Like, someone watch this.
He knows. He actually, I should always refer to you, because Kendrick wasn't surprised. Kendrick's like, this is what happens.
Exactly. This is what happened. When I saw that reel of them on that treadmill, like changing clothes, I was like, oh boy.
Oh no.
Oh boy. This is they paid the money for this. Like they set this up on their own.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
I said, oh dear, this was self-funded.
And you know, it had to have been like a certain kind of shock for them, I'm assuming, because Bravo had just put out that whole press release about upcoming fall shows and like all that stuff.
And it freaked everyone out.
And like, one thing I will say, I was so happy that so many of the comments were saying, okay, where's Family Karma?
Yep.
Where's Family Karma? So I was like, okay.
That's a good sign.
That by the end of the season, like the ratings were like going up and up and up. So I was like, okay, perfect. Like let's get them what they deserve. Let's do this. So I haven't lost hope yet.
Me too.
We didn't know about season 3 either. We were just kind of like, so we knew they were filming at some point, but then we never knew like if they were actually coming back until like way after season 2. So maybe the same.
And you're right, because they may just be wanting to let it breathe a little bit. Let's see, because maybe what was immediately going to happen in their lives wasn't interesting, but they're like, give it time. Let's let this marriage to Nicholas and Amrit settle a little bit, because it's going to get probably a little bit more juicy. When some time passes. Then also we're gonna get Vish and Richa. There'll be some drama there too. So maybe they just wanted to give it some air. And it does take a solid year for us to get a show. So they're not filming now. So if they decide, all right, yes, let's get cameras up now, we've got something to capture. We wouldn't get it for a while. So you're right. We have hope. So keep them in. Keep tagging Bravo.
Yes.
And saying we want it there. All right. So if you're new here, make sure you're subscribed if you're watching on YouTube, if you're listening on the pod. Don't forget to give us a 5-star rating and review. And if you're new, also, this is Kendrick, who hosts Reality and Comics 2, available everywhere you get my podcast. So check him out, and all of his info will be in the show notes. So that being said, let's get into Martha's Vineyard. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Here at She Speaks Bravo, we believe that Bravo TV is a great form of self-care and therapy. Look at me. I've been using it for over a decade, and I am a complete mess. That's me, by the way. I'm Emily, and I'm your host on this journey.
What is this, honey?
I love that. If you're not already subscribed, get subscribed and hit that notification bell, because I'm releasing new episodes at least 3 times a week.
Clip! You fool!
That's my opinion!
I talk Bravo, I talk true crime, and sometimes I talk a little scripted. So whatever you're here for, I hope you enjoy the show. Oh my God, right?
Obsessed. Like I've fallen out of grace with Summer House, like the main version. I'm so over them. So over them. I thought they, you know my story. Like once Hannah left, I was like, okay, no more drama on this show. Over it. Now they're starting to bring in Craig and Tall Man. I'm like, no, I'm out of here. No interest in it anymore. Really stupid. Everyone hates Lynn. That's all I have for him. Little Muppet. I'm over him. I'm over like everyone hates Lindsay and Carl. Like, just let those people be in love. I don't care anymore. It's all so stupid. This show is such a breath of fresh air. I love all of the cultural references, like the LB for Line Brothers. We've got AKAs and Deltas and Kappas and all these, but it's just so like, now don't get me twisted. I have a lot of reads to hand out, because some of these people,
a mess.
Bravo has, one thing about them, they have never had a shortage of delusion when it comes to a Bravo show, and this is no different, and I love that for them.
Oh, yes. Okay, since I didn't get to do this with you last week, who is your standout that comes to your head for this cast?
Ooh, you know what? I love so many of them. I think that, oh boy, okay, so I'm trying to remember all the names.
I know the names are
so
tough.
New. Yeah.
Jasmine,
I love.
Oh, yeah, good. I like that you like her. You would like her.
She's a great, like, I feel like she's not too polarizing, like either way it goes, but she's very much like a central force, and I think a season 1 show really needs that, because I think if you come in too hot with someone that everyone hates, it's like, what do you it's sometimes too much. So I love her kind of presence on the show. I love that we're getting a married couple season 1.
Agreed.
Don't introduce it season 5. Not interested. No, that's not what we agree. Love that. I love oh boy, I don't know if it's Preston or Prescott, which Preston, I think. He's the really smart one.
Oh my God, is that his name? Fuck, this is what's so hard.
It's something Preston, I think. I'm going to say
Preston. We love him. Duh,
what
are you saying? We love Preston. We love Preston.
Love Preston. Oh, this is, it wouldn't be Kendrick without a hot take. Do you want a hot take already?
Always.
Well, before my hot take, love Amir, because I love to
honey, he's our boyfriend.
Yes,
he's our dumb. He's our Brian. He's Brian from Family Karma.
Yes, and there's another guy that hasn't gotten there yet, but I feel like he'll be, very...
yes. But no, as soon as Amir started talking, I was like, Kendrick and I are both gonna love him, because we love a little dumb cutie, simple cutie.
Yes, we love that. Maybe potentially a hot take, which is Kendrick's specialty. I really like Mariah.
Of course.
Okay, perfect. I love Mariah because some of my opinions about like Bria and Jordan and all that might shock some of y'all, but maybe not. It really depends on what, side of the equation you come down on a lot of stuff, which I think would shock some people about me, but I have some thoughts about Bria and Jordan particularly. Like, both of them kind of are irking me a little bit. Like,
Bria, I see why Bria for sure. Okay. What's irking you about Jordan?
Jordan is a little I feel like she will hear like a conversation going on and will take it in another direction just so that she can like be incensed about, like, just so she can be like angry about that particular conversation. And I'm like, is that what they were talking about though? Like, is that what it was actually about? Like, I don't get it. So like that whole what was it? It felt like they were talking about like him telling Jasmine to get a cab and be safe in New York City and all this kind of stuff. I don't think that's weird to say to your wife or your wife to say to her husband. Like, I think you want them to be safe, but like then it became this whole like, you're so controlling and you've gotten married and this is what it is. Like, it came a whole thing about I'm a single woman and this is what I do and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, okay, like, but that has nothing to do with like a husband telling his wife, like, you're out at 4 a.m, just take an Uber home or something like that when you want to go home. Like, I don't think that's weird. Like, I mean, if you were like, obviously demanding she go home or something like that, that would be weird. But like giving her advice about how to get home safely is how I took that conversation. I think that both Jordan and oh boy, I call him Farnsworth Bentley, but I forget his name sometimes. Maybe it's Chris, the one that's always really well dressed.
Nick.
Okay. Nick, I feel like is like, doesn't know how he's coming across, because I think he thinks that he's flirting with Jordan by like agreeing with everything she says. Like, why can't they do this alone? Or why can't they? Yeah, but I don't think he knows he's coming across as like the sassy best friend, like I don't think he kind of knows how he's coming across. So it's coming across less as like, I want to be I want to be the guy to date you, but it's more coming across like, yes, queen, you better go, girl. Like, so I think he needs to kind of realize
he has very much no game. He's very much with women. His game is so off.
So off.
Yeah.
Great dresser, but so off.
Now, okay, so since we start with the conversation with Silas and Jordan, question then for you, because I misunderstood then what I took Silas's start of the conversation to be that he was saying that Jordan is a bad influence on Jasmine, because he's like, it's funny, every time she's out late she's with you.
I took it as like a joke, so I don't think anyone took it because like, who was it? Alex, I think, jumped in and he was saying like, I can see Alex, I can see Jordan being the toxic friend or something like that. I thought everyone was joking, but it seemed like Jordan wasn't in on the joke, because once they like wrapped it up, Silas was like, yeah, all good, all that kind of stuff, and it was like squashed, never talked about again. Then they went home and had that like aggressive sex scene. So yeah, like,
I was gonna say we don't. Okay.
Whoa, it felt like Love Island right now. I was
gonna say, well, we're taking it there. Got it.
We are. I'm okay with it.
Me too.
Yeah. But I don't know. I felt that whole conversation, I thought it was more so like a new couple, like a new married couple trying to get on common ground about stuff. And it feels like they're on common ground, but it feels like she's having to balance being a married woman with a single friend, like, with her group of single friends. And that's where it's becoming like, well, he's not my husband, he can't tell me what to do kind of stuff. But I don't think that was ever the way it was intended. Like, I feel like it was much more like jokey.
Like he's getting a bad rap for maybe just I do agree that that's what I am enjoying about the married couple aspect of it, because they never had, because of the pandemic relationship being the start of it, they never had interactions as a group of friends. So she wasn't like, here's me with my friends. He's only known her one-on-one with him. So now he even says out loud, I'm adjusting, which I thought was very cool that he said. This was last episode, I believe. He's like, I'm still adjusting to seeing her with a bunch of girlfriends. Like, this is all very new to me. So I was like, oh, this is a cool little character study we're about to get, because it's a pandemic relationship. And I got uncomfortable the way they edited it last episode, like the way they cliffhang it, and they kept showing him like clenching his jaw, and I was like, I don't like this. But the way they picked it up this episode, it was like not a thing. I was like, okay, he lets it go, and I was less triggered by it, because I was like, I don't like his attitude. But they also were cutting in and inserting facial expressions, which they do. That's their right, I guess. Right. But that's the narrative they wanted us to get, so that they could give us a to be continued. Like, it was about about to be this whole thing. And they give us a second to be continued, which you're on warning, Martha's Vineyard. Don't. I swear it's a cop out because the editors are like, I don't want to make a trailer for next week, so let's just put it to be continued.
Right.
I swear that's why they do it.
If I was in production, that would probably be my trick too. I'm like, no, we just put it
put it
to be continued. Like, it'll be
yeah.
okay.
Like, put that title card there and it's all good. They don't care.
Let me finish about Jordan too, because that's all that is. I would have let that, like, that wouldn't have bothered me. But then there were two other instances where it was kind of like, okay, girl. Oh. One of them was, this is so like small, but then when I talked to Taria about it, she said it before I could say it. So I'm like, okay, I'm not crazy. So when that whole thing where, I don't remember who all was out there, but it was Amir, Jordan, and somebody, I think maybe Alex, like throwing around the rugby ball or football or whatever, and they're outside. And she revealed to them that she had been celibate for a year. And so I'm like, oh, that's cool. You know, I'm like, I love when people talk about like celibacy and those kind of journeys, because God, I wish I could go on one. But I'm like, okay, I want to hear about that. No, it would keep me up at night. No. But I would like love hearing about it. So I'm like, okay, let me hear about this. And then her reasoning behind it was, you know, I'm a Playboy bunny, and, you know, if they didn't, what did she say? I'm a Playboy bunny, and I just don't know who's trying to date me for me and who isn't. You know, I'm a known, she kind of said she was a known name and like all this kind of stuff. And I was like, girl, like, no offense, but like the only Playboy bunnies we know are Holly, Madison, and Kendra. Like, let's stop it. Like, but I don't know. So didn't get that because I don't think she was, if my understanding is right, she wasn't at like the mansion. She was like,
she better not have been.
Right. She was at like the club in New York, right? I'm guessing. So like, I think that's what my understanding was. So like, I don't think people are like trying to, if a guy approaches her.
Question, but does she mean because people hit her up? Because I don't date anymore. Does it mean because people hit her up in the DMs and
that would be my only assumption.
I want to date you, and her whole Instagram is her being sexy?
Right.
But if that's the case, I don't mean to be a dick about that, but like, isn't that your choice?
Right. Even my thing is, I'm like, well, if that's the case, then stop going through the DMs. Like, if people approach you in person,
yeah, dude, good
talk
point.
to them.
Good
right.
point.
Like, old school is okay sometimes. Like, just go with those people. But like, even if it is
she's doing a little bit of some victimizing of herself that like doesn't. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm just like,
okay.
So that was a weird one to me too. And then the ending of this episode too, she did a lot of like taking Bria's like pain and making it hers so that she could be mad about it. And then the whole like constantly like doing to Jasmine what Mariah did to Bria, that like push thing. I was like, okay, this is a lot. Like, you're doing a little much.
I did it too. As I said, I have that in my notes too. Like, okay, you didn't need to keep pushing her. Like, you've made your point. And also the pushing kept getting more and more like bigger
harder,
and bigger.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
it was. Because the one that Mariah did, it was with the clothes and she pushed it to her once. But it was like, okay, like 5 times.
It wasn't like a, with your finger and like a push where it made her fall backwards that far. I was like, right.
Yeah.
You took some liberties there.
Right, exactly. But all that said, I still like, nothing, the door isn't closed with Jordan. I still like her on the show and like all this kind of stuff. It's just that small little things. My biggest issue is with Bria, and we can get there when we get there, but that's my biggest,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happily, none of them have taken me to a place where I'm like, I can't, except for Phil, and except
fast too.
And Shanice. I'll explain why. There was something about as soon as Shanice got out of the car, something about the way she got out of the car and came in the house, I was like, I don't like what she did. And I don't know what it was. And then when I went back to watch again to take notes, I was like, so she didn't technically do anything that bad. So I don't know what exactly, but I was like,
but that's me.
I don't like it.
Something small like that will irk me. Like if someone like gets out with like the right foot first instead of left or something like that, I'm like, oh, you're weird. No. Don't see it for you. Sorry.
I was like, I don't like her. I could I sense it. I'm like, nope, she's got shady in the wrong way. It's different. Like I like shade, but it's different. I don't like it.
Yep.
But no one besides Phil, obviously, and Shanice have made me go, I'm done. And here's what's interesting about Jordan for me is that I know I love it. Oh, it's okay. We accept dog barks around here.
Right.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, Jordan.
Mhm.
Jordan. I just, and I made this disclaimer maybe on Instagram. I don't know if I made it here. I'm mesmerized by her beauty.
Yes, absolutely.
And I like am almost like blinded by it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a problem. Like,
yes.
like when I didn't really like, I wasn't bothered by much of the stuff she did, but I didn't even clock like how she had kind of turned some of the things, because I was like, oh, I wasn't paying attention. Cause like whenever they cut to her confessional, I'm like, how are you this pretty?
Right. And I hate, because I don't even know if I like explained that first one right, but like,
no,
I feel like if people watched the dinner, like it just felt like she started talking about, and you know what, it totally might have been editing too, which we always got to be kind of conscious of, but it felt like Phil and Jasmine were talking about something entirely different, and then she kind of took the ball and started talking about something else. So I was like, we just went to a whole nother conversation. What are we talking about right now? So it might have been editing. You never know with the shows.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Mm-hmm. Never know.
Yeah, but I, like, with Jordan, I have to check myself because I don't even know if she's interesting. I just am so mesmerized by her face.
Right.
Damn.
There's a couple on here like that, so yeah.
Oh, and Amir too. I'm like, huh? Like, what did he say? But I actually love what he says because he's so stupid. Oh my God, I love him. As soon as he opened his mouth and he's like, I am from the great state of Austin. Wait, Austin's not a state? I'm like, I'm in. I'm in. Say no more. You are
the Brian Benny of the Northeast. Yes,
you are my boyfriend. We're good.
Yeah.
All right, so they finished with the dinner. On the way home, Mariah doing affirmations with her son in the car was
love.
She says, what comes to you abundantly? And he goes, love, friends. She goes, okay, one more. And he goes, money. She goes, that's right. Like, I couldn't love that more.
Right.
Oh
love
my God.
that. Love we're getting to see it on TV too. And I love the emotions that we're getting to see from her on this show, especially like with, like, you know, in the back of her mind, she's like, I have a whole son at home. If I'm going to be here, it needs to be for a reason. Like, this can't be stupid. It can't be this and that. So I can see, especially a parent, like I can see a spouse too, but I think there's something special about a parent being away from their child. I think that emotions at any point can be high. And so, like, I think anything like that, I'm totally on Mariah's side with the whole dog laundry thing, but I think something like that, which some people could be like, that's so small, like, get over it. I think that's one of the things that can be heightened, because it's like, okay, I'm already annoyed. I'm sad because I'm not with my child. I'm annoyed that, like, I might be burdening someone else to take care of him during this time, like, whatever. And then it's like, okay, this motherfucker put these dog clothes in my garden. And then it's like, okay, I get it. I'm with you there. I'm with you, Mariah.
Yeah, well,
but can we say I love her confessional look too? Everything, yeah,
love. I just love that she's such a different energy and doesn't care, and is going to like force her moon mass on everyone.
Yes.
Which they did sit through. I will give them that. They sat through it. It was fucking cold. They were so fucking cold. And then she's like, wow, they couldn't sit out here for more. I'm like, Mariah, you got to give them a little credit. They did sit out there for quite a bit of it. Okay. But like,
I think only a couple of them were being assholes. The rest of them, I think, were being like
tried.
Wholly there. Yeah.
Yeah. Even Jasmine was like, I need to go inside. I'm really cold. And she's like, wow. She's like, you're my, well, we'll get to it.
Yeah.
So, okay, the sex scene, though. Let's discuss.
Ooh, goodness.
I don't think we've ever seen it like that before.
No, I'm trying to think like back early Summer House days. We even saw it like that. Like that
the way we got like the lead up.
Right. And it felt like that wasn't just missionary.
I had to like process. I couldn't tell what I was really checking, and I was like, is this really what? Oh, it is. Oh, yeah. And then I like Amir getting woken up and then being like, "What the? Oh, you're good."
Yeah, right. And you know what? I feel like we've all been there before. That was probably like during like, you remember like in, you know, early like party days or like college or whatever, when you're just like, I want to go to sleep, but like the party is still raging on, like outside the bedroom door, and someone comes in there, they're like, oh, sorry, just looking for the bathroom, and they close. It's like, you want to be angry, but you're like, okay, just close it again. I'm going to go back to sleep. It's okay. Like, it's all right. It's okay.
Yep, you just accept it. You're in a share house.
Right.
The next day, we get a little more backstory on Jasmine and Silas. So when he found out that she had been homeless, he realized, like, I'm going to have to be financially the responsible one, which already he seems like the guy that is like, I have to be responsible and dutiful and have no fun.
And he's a military man too, so all of that seems like it plays right into each other.
Totally. So they have very different cultures. She's from St. Louis, Missouri, and like this is different for her. So they're definitely merging cultures, which is going to be very interesting to see play out in this environment. But they discuss Shanice and Phil coming. And as soon as they cut to Bria being like, this is my friend, I met her through Shanice, I'm like, I already don't like him.
Yeah.
I can feel it. Like, I can just tell I'm not going to like his energy. I don't like that he doesn't know anyone. Who's Shanice? I haven't met her yet. But Shanice was in Jasmine and Silas's wedding. So she's a part of the crew.
Yeah, she's there. She's
there. Amir makes Jordan go kayaking, but promises not to get her wet. I'm like, that's not gonna work. And he's like, all I'm trying to do is have this Titanic moment with Jordan. And they're like, you realize the Titanic sank, right? And he's like,
right.
Those are just details. Although I would like, I'm not outdoorsy either. So if you try to like be like, hey, let's go. He's like, I love kayaking. I'm like, oh man, well, we had so much in common up until now.
Right.
Except I didn't know anything else about you. We had nothing in common. But
right. But you have a nice face.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So Silas, Nick, and Alex, they talk about Shanice coming, and this when we find out that Nick has already tried to chat up Shanice in the DM. He likes going in. Nick goes into the DMs. Remember, Jordan's like, I restricted him.
Yes.
Because I was sick of his creepy, like, hard eyes and fire signs and whatever. Like, stop.
Doing everything. Yeah, way too much.
He's like, athletic. I love it. Have you always been fine? No.
He's like that guy at church that like always wants a hug that you're like, can you like
God.
stop? Like, no.
That's a good point. I don't like people. I hate when men do that. Give me a hug. I don't think so.
No, like I'm okay. Stop.
Don't make me hug you.
No. It's weird.
I related to Jordan though when they're in the kayak and she gets splashed. She's like, okay, I want a drink now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But dude, they did like an aerial shot of them in the whatever the hell. That was major. I was like, dude, are they in like where are they gonna be okay? Where are they?
There's like I don't know where it came from, but I feel like Bravo, Peacock, NBC, there's like a drone budget now, and like I don't know where it came from, but it's there.
It's there for
it's
sure.
There. Go y'all.
Shut up! That is so stupid.
You know, we get body odor under our arms, right? But we could smell in other places in our body. And you know what? I don't like to smell. And I am not ashamed of the fact that I smell delicious everywhere. And down in my bathing suit parts, I smell like toasted coconut. You want to know why? I use Lumi. Lumi popped up in my world as a targeted ad when I was Googling causes of odor from that area. I had hooked up with someone new and had never smelled that smell before from that area and was like, this is it. I have an STD. But no. Along came this Lumi ad that said, or maybe it's just body odor. Lumi was invented by an OBGYN who was tired of her down there getting the blame for all of the odors because I was like, I have a medical problem. That's what I thought I had. But it wasn't. It was truly just skin rubbing together. And when you think about it, no air gets down there. You know, you're walking around. I was at work when this occurred. Lumi is uniquely formulated. It is aluminum free, skin safe, and clinically proven to control odor for up to 72 hours. If you seriously aren't showering in a 72-hour period, wow. But hey, if you needed it for that long, it's there for you. The thing with Lumi, you use it everywhere. I use it under my boobs. I use it in my pits, behind my knees. Lumi's starter pack is perfect for new customers because in it you get solid stick deodorant, which is what I started with, the cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, like a mini body wash, which I have in clean tangerine. Oh my God, it's so good. And deodorant wipes, which I have in cucumber, and I keep those in my car because, you know, got to freshen up while you're on the go. As a special offer for listeners, new customers get $5 off this Lumi starter pack with code SHESPEAKS at LumiDeodorant.com. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack when you visit LumiDeodorant.com and use code SHESPEAKS. So I like that they're deciding for that activity is bowling. Usually it feels like, if for some reason these activities can start to feel like very forced, like we got to figure out something for you guys to do. But because we are just meeting this group, it doesn't feel like it's going to be some awkward thing. And it turns out like Bria is an amazing bowler because this was like her family time every Saturday. And I'm like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It just totally makes sense for Bria. She's like, I'm an amazing bowler. This is when we had family time. And I'm like, shut up, Bria.
Exactly.
There's like really an annoying flex for you to be like, that's what family did on Saturday. I'm like, okay, thank you.
Right.
Shout out to the music they're using. They use this music during the bowling that kind of, it almost gave me like DMC rock around vibes, but like modernized. And I was like, if this is the vibe we're doing, I love it. I'm very much into this score we're going to use. Like, yes, let this be the vibe. Yeah, give it its own thing.
I love that.
But then, Bria talking about Simon with Jasmine and Preston. And they're like, and Jasmine goes, what would Simon be doing if he was here right now? And the first thing Bria says is, oh, he would definitely be buying all the drinks and all the food. I was like, that's the first thing you lead with. But I love Preston not missing a beat going, and I would be enjoying that.
Right. Exactly. I think he always knows.
Which is what you would say, Kendrick.
Yes.
Kendrick would say that immediately. He would not miss a beat. He'd be like, and I would be enjoying those pleasures. Thank you very much.
I feel like he's very good at like picking up on when a moment is about to become awkward and like cutting it off. He's like, no, let's keep the good time going.
Because he knows Jasmine's not going to take that well. He's like, Jasmine's not going to like that. So I'll fix it.
Very weird. Just Bria, what are you doing? Like, okay, let me get my Bria rant off my chest.
Yeah, go, please. I was like, this, please.
Yes. So the first thing, which as y'all heard, I have a dog. You know this from listening to this podcast, listening to my podcast. Y'all know I have a dog, Soxy. She's right there. And I love a dog. Cat, I have a okay relationship with. Sometimes you don't know what they're thinking, but that's okay. You know, they're just mysterious. They're keeping it to the chest. That's okay. But I feel like if you're going to bring a dog around a group of people in a house that's like being shared and communally paid for and stuff like that, it's like a heads up, not like the general courtesy for that. Like, I feel like there are certain things, like, okay, it's not like you're bringing like an extra pair of shoes. Like, oh, can I bring these extra pair of shoes? This is something that's like going to be potentially peeing on the floor, maybe because they don't know if it's home broken. It's going to be shedding everywhere. Like, it's going to be a lot of extra maintenance, and other people might feel obligated to help out with it because you're not going to always be there. So, it's a whole thing. So
very true.
That's something that, I would be one, I'd be like, bring the dog, totally fine with me, but don't spring the dog up on a group of people that have no idea it's coming. So that already kind of, they mentioned it a few times to her, and every time she's just kind of like, I mean, he's here, it's the dog, that kind of attitude about it. So I was like, okay, that's strike one. Strike 2, 3, 4, and 5. When she comes to these people and says, well, him coming for 3 days, it won't be really make much sense because he's coming from out of the country and yada yada yada. Can he just come for the whole week? What? You're inviting a whole nother person to beer drop. You're inviting a whole nother person to the house, not just like to come in for the weekend like most people would do. Like, oh, we're having a 4th of July. You know, we see it on Summer House all the time. We're having a 4th of July party. Invite your friends and all like this. And then guess what? On Sunday, they leave. You're inviting someone to like be a cast member on this show for potentially like 3 or 4 episodes. Like, we just like, I don't know if she's just like not forward thinking or if she's very forward thinking. I don't know which one it is. Like if it's more of a, you know, an underlying like, okay, this could be a bag for both of us kind of thing or what this is. But it all just like, it's a level of, I don't even know if I want to say entitlement, but it's a level of entitlement that drives me crazy about people in real life. I agree. Watching her on the show, I was like, I couldn't imagine forming a friendship with somebody like her if I was in that house. It would drive me up the wall just because like I don't think it's reasonable to like say, oh my god, your dog is shedding everywhere, can we do something about this? And then
she's
you
like there's nothing I can do about it. I'm like, well, that's not true.
Exactly, because then my response is going to be, well, you didn't have to fucking bring them. And then that's going to be mean, and then we get into a whole thing. But you could easily get one of the damn gloves and, like, go over the dog. Like well, there's a lot you can do.
We're both pet owners, so we know that, like, we're not anti-pets, but we're like, there's absolutely something we can do about it.
Right. We're pro-consideration. How about that?
Yeah, like, there are lint rollers all over the place, so if I was bringing my animal, especially if I knew this was a rental, I would be very cautious of that. Like, oh my god, I'm going to make sure that because that's something I do in my own house.
Right, exactly. So you didn't bring that, so it's weird.
Yeah, no, when she asked for the whole week, I was like, oh, okay.
Yes.
And it's having seen him on that FaceTime, I'm like, you want him to come?
I don't.
I'm already weird about mixing friends anyway, just because it's like you never quite know. The dynamics could get weird, but I'm like, you want to mix him with this group? For a week?
It seems weird. Plus, you're already running back to him and telling him what everyone is doing wrong to you. And so it's like now he's gonna come guarded and he's gonna know who to hate and who to like. It's all bad from the get go. There was what 2, 3, 4, and 5. My number 6 reason with her was the ending of this episode when she like suddenly went from, because when her and Mariah were going at it, both of them were going at it. Like it wasn't like Bria was getting bullied or picked on or something. Bria was like, watch your tone, like putting her hand in faces and all that kind of stuff. So I thought it was like this equally like matched thing where like Mariah was pissed, Bria didn't want to be talked down to. It was a whole thing. But then suddenly at the end of the episode there was a shift. It was like, I am the one who was victimized. Why is everyone allowing her to come into a public space? I don't like this. It was very like Gone with the Wind fat. It was like very like, what is the issue? And then that's when like Jordan took it on for herself and all this kind of stuff. And so like I get it, that's your friend, like take it on, whatever. But it was all, I don't like the whole, like, you know what? I think it's the thing that drives you crazy with Kenya sometimes. It's the thing where you feel like they are like in it. They will like go tit for tat with someone, but then later on they'll revise history and like they're the victim in the situation about something. And that's kind of the vibe she's giving me. So like, I don't know how she's going to play out this season, but Bria, okay.
She's very princess. Right.
Yes.
Very princess.
Peachy.
Well, okay. Then we find out Mariah's going to gift them with her moon mass. And I thought, uh-oh. I know how this is going to go. They already are like, the what? And they've been drinking, and I'm like, this isn't going to be good. Like, I could just tell they're not going to appreciate it. And when she starts explaining that voodoo's been passed down from both sides of her family, this is generational, I'm like, uh-oh, they're not going to get it. They're not going to get it.
Not going to get it.
So, yeah. And but this is the part where Silas, they're like gathering out by the fire, and Silas is like, let me go check on Jasmine. And Nick, in an attempt to 100% like hit on Jordan and be
Yes.
like, look at me relating to something you mentioned before. Isn't it a little controlling? And I was like, I thought the same thing. I'm like, I think he's checking to see because she was making drinks.
Right.
And I think he was checking to see if she needed help. I thought that's what it was too. But
Me
I'm like,
too.
Nick, I know what you're doing. Nick is just bad at hitting on women.
Yes.
He has zero game.
I genuinely don't think he knows how it's coming across, because I don't think she's perceiving this as flirting right now. I think she's perceiving this as like, okay, he wants to be like a catty friend with me, like about that
totally.
kind of thing.
100%. He's like, she's not interested.
No.
No. Jasmine though she's like, Mariah and I did things when we lived in the car to ground ourselves, so she's not so weirded out by this, but I bet deep down she is worried for her friend Mariah. I bet deep down she's like, oh, this isn't like, this is an us thing.
Yeah.
No one else is going to get this. And we all have that. I have that friend that like I'll like indulge her like side that's a little, crystals and shit like that. But like, don't bring it to the whole group, because not everyone's going to be nice like me.
Can I ask you a question? I don't, maybe this is public knowledge, I don't know, but I don't think Mariah is in like the cast photo.
Yeah.
So like, do we think she's gonna leave at some point?
I was gonna say the same thing. I wonder if because of her son, I wonder if maybe she can't stay for the whole thing.
Oh, good point. Okay. Yeah,
that's my guess. My guess is that's why.
Yep. Okay. I'll go with that. I'll go with that. Yeah. Because I was like, there are people that it's 2 episodes in. There are people that haven't even gotten there yet that are in there. Like, yeah. So I'm like, I don't know. Or maybe they just came and like over delivered. I don't know. I don't know what the case is, people. I don't know, but I want to see.
I'm gonna know. I know Shanice is gonna over deliver because she came in with drama, and I'm like,
yeah. Yeah.
Mariah's like, you guys, everyone's like, it's so cold. She's like, your minds are stronger than the cold. I'm like, abort, do this inside. Like, I don't know. Like, this is just not the thing to do. But then she like tries to take him through another. I mean, they are wrapped in blankets. It is. I'm cold looking at them. They're shaking, and then they go through a ritual. And she's like, "Does anyone want to say something?" And someone's like, "I need to go inside." Like and they all are like, "I'm so cold." But I love that Mariah, even though they sat through that. She's like, I'm really disappointed. I'm like, damn it. Damn. But I do like that there's going to be this conflict element of this. Like, I like that this is going to be the conflict.
I do too. I love when we get like an out of the box kind of because sometimes reality TV is so formulaic. It's like, oh, you used to date my boyfriend, or you used to do this, that kind of stuff. So I don't think a moon ceremony was on my bingo card for the show. Like, I don't think it was.
So I'm here for this. I'm here for it being this weird shit. Okay, so the next day, by the way, thank you to the editors for leaving in a shot of Amir's ass as he was getting dressed.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Might have rewound that a couple of times. Yes.
Same. I'm obsessed with Alex meditating. Like, that's where he's at. He's meditating, and then up comes Shanice in the car. Yes. And I just immediately, the way she gets out of the car, I don't know what it was. I thought something happened. I legitimately thought like she did something like rude, but that's just how I felt it. Like, I felt the way she got out of the car and like didn't grab her luggage, and like, I don't know, the way she talked to the guy, and like she walked in just like holding her phone and like a water bottle, and she's like, hi, like just very entitled. And I was like, I don't like her. I don't like her. I don't know what it is. It's like she doesn't seem like she's I'll get further into it. So I love Preston and Silas teasing Nick, because Nick's like, I'm just gonna sit right here. I'm not going to go over there. They're like, oh yeah, you're just going to, oh, hey, what up? I'm Nick. Like, we're like, they're just making fun of him. Like, gotta act cool, right?
Right. But I hate that whole Instagram versus real life conversation. Though. It's like,
fair.
Nick,
fuck
calm
you.
down. Exactly.
Fuck
like,
you,
calm
hardcore.
down, sis. Yeah.
But this also was a big flag to me about who Shanice is as a person.
Oh, okay.
So Jordan says last time Shanice was here, she was going through a really intense breakup, and she was just not the normal thing. I'm like, so she feels like the friend who pulls everyone into her mood.
Oh.
And so now she's here and she's like, I'm here to turn up. I don't fucking care about anybody having feelings because I don't have feelings. I'm like, well, sure sounds like you had feelings last summer.
Yeah. She's about to overcorrect, and that's gonna be yeah.
Or she's just insensitive as hell. Anyone who says they don't do drama, I'm all about the fun, you're the most toxic friend in your entire group because you don't. Because if someone does have let me put it this way.
I'm pretty sure Jen Shaw said that at some point.
I would also, let me say this. So like you, Kendrick, I would consider you someone who likes to have fun, keeps things light, but you would never in your life say that. Like I've never once heard you go, I don't like drama.
Right.
Only toxic people say that.
Right.
And that's what she said almost immediately.
It's, you know what? It's like Chelsea. I don't remember who. I think it was Sierra that joined Summer House, but it was when around the time she joined, Chelsea like made it a big point when she said like, I like Sierra, but she did the thing that always puts me on guard with certain cast members, and it's the whole like, I don't really get along with girls, I get more along with guys kind of thing. And it's like, okay, so you know that might go, because when you say that, it sometimes feels like, okay, I'm gonna like go out of my way not to be friends with these girls instead of just like seeing what develops naturally. Like obviously Sierra has like developed a friendship with, you know, Paige and whoever else in the house, but which is great. But it feels, you know, when sometimes when you hear that on reality TV, it's like, okay, it's gonna be the whole like I'm too cool for school thing. We don't know how this is gonna go. Let's hurry up and get this damn season over because I'm over it already.
Even when they talk about Shanice's, they're like, you know, Phil's coming, and Shanice is like, Phil's funny, he likes the parties, never worried about too much. He reminds me of myself. I'm like, nope. Don't describe yourself as someone who never worries about too much, because your friend just said that you were here last summer sucking the life out of the party because you were going through a breakup. So everyone feels at some point. So don't be that toxic. And she's going to be toxic. So I don't want to hear it. Okay.
Exactly.
I don't fucking hear it. But the girls, they gather. And I like this conversation that Jasmine talks about, how now that she's married, it is different how her friendships have changed. And we are seeing that in real life over on the main Summer House. I don't really know if that's necessarily like Lindsay's fault though, because Lindsay's like, I'm now engaged. I'm a whole different person, and I like can't talk to anybody normal anymore. I can't even talk about that show right now. It's like
I know. I blame everything on Amanda, so it's okay.
Fair.
Yes.
But I love that they're talking about the guys in the house, and then Preston joins in. I'm like, yes, you need a gay guy. You just do. You fucking need it. And okay, so they go, she's like, who has big dick energy? And they talk about a little bit. And then she goes, wait till Phil gets here. And I like the premonition of like terror that's about to come into this home. I don't like him.
No.
At all. I don't like how tall he is. I don't like how drunk he is. I don't like anything about him.
Right. Because, you know, it's always, it can either be really off-putting or really like, you know, hype the party up when someone comes in and like, time for shots. I'm here now. Like that whole energy. So it's like, okay, you got Preston. Preston's up there getting dressed. Maybe he's into it. Like maybe he's like, okay, I'm trying to go out. I need to be hyped up or whatever. Yes. Everything that followed that though was like, no.
Nope. I was doing the same thing. I'm like, get out of Mariah's room.
Exactly.
Get out of her room immediately. Although Mariah, when Nick comes out, she's like, I'm not going to go out with you guys. But she's like, you look good, Nick. You look like a Nickelodeon splat.
Yeah.
But why did he look like that?
It was on point. Exactly how he looked.
Mr. I Love Fashion. I'm like, sir. Okay. Yep. But then we get the big fight about Mariah confronting Bria with the dog towels.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you have a dog. Now, you have a bigger dog. And so I'm sure for Bria, she's like, he's just little tiny Milo. Like, he doesn't... I do hate to say that I do agree that, like, I would never personally put my towels that I'm going to dry my body off with in with anything that have to do with the dogs.
Separate load.
And as much as it is just a few tiny little things, I get it. I do think Mariah 100% is overreacting due to her anger over the moon mass.
Yes.
And it is absolutely misdirected. And she is
Mhm.
probably irritated at Bria just being Bria and being
Right.
like entitled. Like, what? There's nothing I can do about dog hair. What?
Right,
Like, I'm
right.
sure that that's all like culminating in it, because I'm also sure Bria had some little snide comments that didn't make it to air. And I'm sure,
Mhm.
you know, because like we're only seeing little pockets of it. So I'm sure that this is part of that. So she is coming in so hot and
Mhm.
absolutely started something that didn't need to get so bad. It could have been absolutely unacceptable, but instead she was in her face, and it's a lot of energy coming at her. But she's mad
Right.
about the moon mass. So this is something else. But they start to get into it. I love Amir off to the side being so confused, and actually at one point they show him like he's got his hand up like hello, hey guys. And I'm like, they're not they're gonna stop and be like, oh yes, Amir, did you have a question?
Right. It's
What?
so Brian Benny. Like
It's so Brian Benny. I love that. I need them to have a little spin-off something, a little spin-off
Yes.
special
They
where
need
they
to
like
meet somewhere.
where they do something where they're supposed to be smart and they can't be
Mhm.
smart. Like I need that.
Yes.
Quiz them or something. I just because they're so stupid.
Mhm.
But regardless, this scene is great drama. It's great TV. Like this is this is a good show moment. Like you've got them talking about dog towels.
Yes.
And it ends up with Mariah's out of line a little bit. Absolutely, you don't put it's aggressive. You don't do this. But
Right,
then
right.
it turns into watch your tone.
Yeah.
And that's good. Like we've got
Right.
this is some good fucking drama.
Good low stakes drama. We love that.
Call me a bitch one more time. Bitch, what are you going to do? And then she takes, I don't even know what this is, a little crumpled up piece of Post-it. And she goes, bloop. She just throws it on her forehead.
Wait a minute. I just had an epiphany. Because we brought up Brian Benny. Do you think they're waiting until after, oh boy, because I don't keep up, after season 3, 4 of Winter House airs before they make a decision about family karma? Because maybe they'll be like, okay, we've introduced Brian to a whole new audience. They'll watch him on this show now, so maybe I don't know. Do you think they're maybe trying to see
I hope
like
they
how
don't
that'll
wait that
go?
long, because that Winter House doesn't come out until like after the next season of fucking, like the timing of those things is so annoying. I only know that because I'm traumatized by having to put together like when these shows were filmed.
Right. I wonder.
So, okay, no, wait. So technically, Winter House could come out this winter.
Okay.
This winter, meaning like this November, December.
Okay.
So, maybe?
Mm.
Oh, God, I hope. I hope they don't wait that long, though, because then if they don't greenlight production until then we're not going to get a season for so long.
Right.
God.
That's so crazy. But
hopefully they just look at footage and they're
right.
like, this is looking good. Because if they wait for it to come out, that is a long time, because they still have to make the show, edit the show, and you know how long Bravo takes?
Right.
Bravo's turnaround is horrible.
They need to go ahead and put all 6 or whatever episodes together, make a decision, and then just go ahead and greenlight them for season 4.
Yeah, because if they don't start, like, it literally takes a year for them to turn projects around.
Right. I don't see a world.
They need to start speeding that up.
Right, exactly. I don't, especially like you have all these other shows that like, this is a terrible comparison, but like Zeus, like all those like baddies and like all those shows, like they go off air for like a month, then they're like doing a new trailer for like the new season. I'm like, good God, like what are we doing right now? They're always airing, so we can get it together, Bravo.
And I get that they like it very glossy and branded, and like that's the thing. That's what takes them a while. But I also think it's a programming thing. Like they're like okay,
everything's got to fit in the slide and all that. Yeah,
and it's really exhausting. So here's what Shanice just walks off. And even Amir goes, you better get in there and pick a side. And she goes, I'm on no one's side. And And she will lie to everyone's faces about this later.
Yeah.
And Amir's like, that's not, I'm not going to bust you, but like, that's not what happened.
Right. Girl.
So anyway, everyone goes their separate ways. Obviously Jasmine, but wait, hold on. Jasmine talks to Mariah in the laundry room and Jasmine goes, come on, you did call her a bitch to trigger her. And Mariah, knowing full well she did, she goes, no, that's my vocabulary. Mariah, you are messy.
Yes.
You are fucking messy. But then Mariah breaks down with Preston. And this is where we love the cast because these are friends. Like we see who's like really known each other for a while.
Yep.
And I love that. I like the core group, like the core group, like Preston, Mariah, Jasmine. I do like Jordan in there too because it gives like this kind of different Playboy Club element, which is like so unexpected. I did not see that coming at all.
Right.
When they said Playboy Club, I said, what?
Right. Out of nowhere.
She said it all casual.
Right. They did like Bravo had done like some I'm glad they've been like heavily promoting the show on the Instagram.
They have, and on YouTube, and on it's like I'm getting ads left and right everywhere I go.
I'm very happy about that. They did like one video about like how everybody connects on the cast, and Jasmine actually said that on the video. I was like, did she say Playboy? Like, what is she? Because I guess I'm so 2023 that like I'm thinking like Playboy. What are they like Holly and like I'm thinking about like way back then. I'm like, what are they talking? What Playboy?
Where?
But I'm guessing right because I was like I thought Playboy like magazine
that's what
had like
we think.
Yeah, so like I had to like really like bring my brain like back to like reality. Like okay, this is still happening somewhere. Like I don't know.
It just seemed like that was long gone, didn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
But here we are.
Mariah cracks me up though, because she goes in her confessional, I'm here to have a good time, not refereeing a fight about dog hair and shit. I go, let me reword that for you. Not starting a fight about dog hair and shit.
Yes.
Okay, girl. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
All right, so they get to Sandbar. Bria goes right up to Shanice. She's like, I'm mad at you. See, I'm done with Shanice already. She's like, what? I thought we were all getting in the car. Like, I thought we were following each other. What happened? I'm like, you're dirty. I don't like you. You're no one's friend. You have no loyalty. I don't trust. You're here for the TV show. That's what you're here for. You're here to do the TV show. And I don't like it. That's not what we're here for. Okay. This is Bravo. I'm on to you, bitch. Okay.
Yes.
I'm playing
and
that
I think
shit.
they're going to get into it like way worse later in the season
about
when
her boyfriend.
Yeah.
But I do like that Bria, who I already was like, you don't deserve to have like a tight friend like Shanice anyway coming in. Like, so I like that they're fighting immediately.
Yes, love that.
I do like if anyone deserves it, it's Bria, right?
Love that.
Love that. And so then Shanice is just like, what? I don't get it. So Bria gets up. Amir follows her, but Jordan is like, hi, you left. She's like, I honestly didn't even know. I thought we were all like getting in the car. And then shady editors flash right back. They flash right back to Jordan saying, you need to get in there. And she's like, I forgot. I didn't even hear it. Whatever. So then Shanice goes over to where Amir is the one talking to your friend.
Yep.
Okay. And so then Shanice is like, oh, like, what happened? Like, I don't even know what, Shanice lies. I thought we were following, stop lying. You did not think anyone was getting in a car at that point. You said you were going to go get a drink. I can't. Okay.
Right.
I'm onto your ass. All right.
We see you.
And put some fucking makeup on. You're on camera, bitch. All right. Like, this is my first time meeting you. You can't put on some concealer. God
right.
Damn. Lazy. Show some respect to the viewers, please. Okay. I put on a little concealer and I just do this. All right. That's rude. God damn it. Showing up for work. Okay. I'm pissed.
Okay.
I'm pissed at her. But then Jordan, she is like she somewhat redeems herself as a friend here in that moment when she did that. That's fine. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect Jordan to check her. I was like, okay, good. At least like Jordan has independent thinking. Because doesn't Shanice kind of feel like the one who like runs the group?
Yeah. It feels like either her or Jasmine kind of like, it feels like everyone has a kind of like
Yeah.
place. I relate them to like the show Girlfriends kind of, which is crazy, but
Okay.
they all like feel like one of those. Like Jordan feels like a Tony, Jasmine feels like a Joan. You know, it all, everyone has their place in the group,
And
and
it feels like
it,
Shanice like runs the social
yeah,
aspect because like Phil's
mhm,
coming, who no one seems to know, but Phil's like
right,
gonna come. I'm like, why?
child,
But then
Phil, go to hell.
Bria lets it go. Bria's like, she's trying to explain it, but Shanice is like, what? And then some guy like starts hitting on Bria, and she's like, buy me a shot. Buy me a shot. I don't know why women like to do this. Let me go off on this for a second. Why do you want a stranger to buy you a shot? Then you gotta talk to them. Then they feel like
Whole thing.
then they gotta like maybe come over again and be like, hey, remember I bought you a shot? And you're like, oh yeah, like
Right.
buy yourself a shot. Okay,
Right.
you're with a bunch of people. Like that's just a weird flex. It's just to show that you can get them to do what you want them to do or something.
Exactly.
It's weird. I don't like it.
Did we ever see his face? Like,
No.
was he...
Oh, I don't. Good point. Did they blur him?
Right. I don't know. I don't even know if he was like, you know,
He was some weird looking white guy. That's why when they showed like the like parts of him, I was like, that's the guy that you were like, yeah, you buy me a shot. I'm like,
was it
what?
Bria that said that?
Yeah.
Oh, well, then maybe that makes sense, actually.
No, it made total sense because she's in the middle of telling. She could see that Shanice is like, not really gonna ever give you what you need. So the guy's like, hey, you're hot. She's like, buy me a shot. Buy me a shot. And then they show this guy. I'm like, this guy?
Yeah. Because when we saw her boyfriend, we were like, this guy?
Right. Very good point.
Mhm.
And then here's Shanice's toxic ass confessional. I don't know what Bria wanted me to do. Like, I don't have feelings. Life is way too short to be stressed about this little drama and shit. Everyone's going to get over it. It's okay.
God.
Toxic friend alert. And then we meet Phil. Then they cut to Phil stumbling his ass into this house, and I immediately don't like him. He's screaming at Preston to come take a shot. Then he lets the dog out. How does he really think he's got dibs on a room? Like, how does he really fucking think that anybody believed that? I don't understand.
Claiming a room over Zoom, I don't think that's going to hold up in any friendship group. Sorry. I was here first. I saw the room. That's going to be my room. Sorry, dude.
And the first person you should be upset about is Bria. Not maybe putting the note in there. Not the person who's in there that you don't know. You
so weird.
Psycho.
So weird.
So yeah, then Phil, when he went to Mariah's room and just walked in there, I was like, 911.
Right?
I'm not okay with this guy. It was too invasive. I was like, this isn't safe. I feel unsafe.
You know how I feel about people that get way too comfortable too fast.
Yeah.
Don't like it. Don't like it.
Stop it. Stop it right now.
Get out of here. Hate this.
I also love that when Mariah, Preston, and Phil do a shot and cheers, Phil cheers us to Black excellence, which Preston had just said he hated.
That whole thing. Yes.
I was like, yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm. We all hate Phil.
Phil goes and shits in Nick's bathroom.
So weird.
I can't believe that was happening. Like, I couldn't process it.
He feels so out of place on this cast. It's like, what is actually happening right now? Why are you, what? Like, you're we've gone to like poop. We get into slavery. We're cheersing to, it's all a lot. Like, it's a lot going on. Don't know. Phil, you got to go. Sorry. You got to freaking go.
But then Mariah rolls up into the club. She's feeling so extra confident. She's got the guys with her. And then immediately Preston tells Nick, like, yo, Phil is trying to move your stuff. And Phil is like not even apologetic. He's like, yeah, I did it. And I shit in your bathroom. And Nick doesn't even know how to process it. I don't blame him. Shanice and Alex are feeling each other. which I'm fine, good, because like the more of them hooking up, the better. I'm like, let's do all the sex scenes. Like I want I want one night of like all the different rooms with the black light. Like let's go, let's fucking do it. More.
Love that for me. Yes.
More of
yes.
it. I'm not mad. But okay, so obviously Mariah is triggering Bria. Jasmine knows this is happening, and she does this really cheesy thing. She's like, Black excellence is everything, and that's what I'm all about. I'm like, no, Jasmine, just don't. Just say
Coming
nothing.
in from nowhere, exactly.
Yeah, she like pops her head. You're like, so Jasmine.
Like, girl, no, it's okay. Just stop. No.
Yes, exactly. And then we get, then Bria has to storm out, and we get the scene with Jordan and Jasmine. A good scene, regardless. A great scene. Wonderful sidewalk fight moment. Great lighting. Beautiful feet. Everyone's gorgeous. Like,
right.
No, we're not in a shortage of beauty on this show. That is for sure.
Oh, for sure.
My God. So fine. But Jordan does push her way too hard.
Way too hard.
I was like
she's going.
The second one, I was like, dude.
She's going way too hard for. It's weird. I don't know if she just like feels Bria's energy or what, but she's going way too hard for something that's not really her battle, especially when she's really good friends with Mariah too. So you would think she'd be like, you know what? I'm going to let them work this out themselves or whatever the case. But she has like picked a side, and she's picked it hard. Like, if she's like, I'm going to support Bria. It's like, no. Almost in this moment, it's like, fuck Mariah. Like, no, she's dead ass wrong, and you should be fuck Mariah too. It's a lot. Like, I don't think, maybe it's just me though, but I think it's okay for Mariah to come out to the club and not like be accosted by this.
And
like,
maybe
talk
not
about
like
it at
right
home
now. Yeah.
Right. Talk about it at home. It's okay to talk about it later.
Yeah. And
Weird.
I think that there's an element maybe that it seems like Jasmine is co-signing that one thing, but it's like, no, it's just for right now.
Right.
It's just to get through the night.
Exactly. Especially, you know what? I think it's because they weren't privy to the conversation that her and Mariah had in the other room in the moment. Yeah.
There it is. That's what it was. So she thinks that, and also Jasmine just said that like, Black excellence is what it's like, no, Jasmine. If you didn't say that, I don't think you would have gotten in this fucking trouble.
Yes.
Anyway, they get back home though, and it's like the fucking Phil showdown. This dumbass. So he really goes, say there was a law against slavery, and everyone goes, what? And you didn't know. And someone tells you, hey, slavery is illegal. And you're like, I'm just minding my business, slaving my slaves. You know, I'm making a good fucking point. And Preston's like perfectly leaned over and goes, well, then make it then. Do you hear yourself?
Right.
And Phil decides to go, if that shirt was one size bigger. And finally, Alex from over to the side goes, all right, that's corny, bro. No,
right.
Like, we're not about to make fun of looks. Like, now you've done enough.
Right.
Okay.
Way too much. And you know what? I honestly don't even think he's playing up for the camera. I genuinely think that's 100% his personality. Which just sucks everywhere.
Yes. Which just sucks everywhere.
I don't care if it's Martha's Vineyard, New York, Miami.
LA,
it just sucks everywhere.
All over. It just sucks
terrible personality.
Everywhere. I agree. This is him. And Alex is like, I know you're trying to be a comedian, and now Phil gets loud. He's like, I don't know who the fuck you think you are, but understand. He's like, because he's so, how tall is this man? Like 6'10"?
Yeah, he's super tall.
It's scary. And he's like, I called out some shit. I told everybody not to touch my shit. By the way, your shit wasn't there. Like, you were not there.
Hello.
He's like, yeah, I missed my
Why is this being missed?
Yeah, and I love it. Amir finally snaps. You could just see him brewing and all confused. Like, he's like, I just don't understand. Finally, it's too much. And he breaks. Why the fuck are you coming at us? Like, this is your house. It's our house.
Yes.
And which was cute. Alex, at first, it seemed like Alex was going to try to, like, maybe stop Amir. But then he lets him go. He's like, no, he can finish. And he just kind of allows it.
You're like, I would like to see this. Yes,
It's
okay.
like, yes,
Continue.
No, continue that, please.
Yes.
Because then when Phil goes, sit your little ass down, Amir goes, bring your big ass here to see what this little ass can do.
Yes.
And then, but it's like, there wasn't really a huge effort to break this up. They were already too close for my liking, but they were like both Preston and Alex were like, I'm curious. Like, I just like to see what happens next. I'm like, do we? Oh, it was so good.
So good.
Shut up. That is so stupid.
I've been very open about my thinning hair issues, and Nutrafol, well, it's actually been the best supplement so far, gotta say. I know obviously don't want to tell you the other ones I've tried, but this one has definitely filled in this left spot I have. I'm dealing with it for the longest time. And I have, when I pull my hair back into a ponytail, I have this really weird gap on the right that I have to fill in by like doing some trickery with my baby hairs to fill it out. And I've noticed that those are filling in much better than I've ever seen. So Nutrafol science-backed supplements are definitely effective on me. So that's a good sign, right? And hair thinning is very common among women. We talk about it obviously for men, but it's like 1 in 2 women deal with it. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement. It is clinically shown to improve visible thickness and strength. From postpartum to menopause, and no matter your life stage, Nutrafol has 4 unique formulas to support women. Each is physician formulated using drug-free, science-backed ingredients, so you get the most reliable results. Go to Nutrafol.com to take their hair health wellness quiz. I love a quiz. Identify causes of your thinning hair, and Nutrafol will give you a personalized plan for better hair growth through their whole body health approach. Nutrafol supports healthy hair growth from within by targeting root causes of thinning, whether that's stress, hormones, environment, nutrition, lifestyle, and metabolism. It's all about that whole body health, which makes sense, right? Because your hair grows from the root, from inside of you, you know? In a clinical study, 86% of women reported improved hair growth after taking Nutrafol, women's hair growth supplement, for 6 months. 86%. So take the first step to visibly healthier, thicker hair. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off their first month subscription and free shipping when they go to Nutrafol.com and enter the code SHESPEAKS. Find out why over 4,000 healthcare professionals recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com, and that's spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code SHESPEAKS. Nutrafol.com, promo code SHESPEAKS for $10 off their first month subscription and free shipping.
Shut up. That is so stupid.
Don't make a habit of asking friends about some medical stuff. Like, is this normal? Because you never know who you're going to get. You never know if this is your friend who's like super hypochondriac-y. Don't ask Google either, because you type in the wrong search word and you've got a terminal illness before you know it. So let me tell you where I suggest going. Head over to ZocDoc, because you can find a doctor over there that will listen to your questions, the is this normal, this is how I'm feeling stuff, and they'll give you actual medical expert advice. ZocDoc is the only free app that lets you find and book doctors who are patient reviewed, take your insurance, are available when you need them, and treat almost every condition under the sun. You don't have to worry about all that doctor roulette where you're like, I hope this is the good one, and you don't know until you get in there. ZocDoc has all the reviews right there. It's like your trusted guide to getting you to your new favorite doctor. Millions of people use ZocDoc to find and book a doctor in their neighborhood who is patient reviewed and fits their needs and their schedule just right. Go to ZocDoc.com/SheSpeaks and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. Many are available within 24 hours. That's ZocDoc.com/SheSpeaks. ZocDoc.com/SheSpeaks. Fuck, that was an hour. Sorry, Kendrick. Okay, we can get through Atlanta.
It's okay.
Quick. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. Atlanta. Martell.
Child.
Martell.
Child.
So what's crazy is that we know now that Sheree will say in the very last scene that Martell already showed me the DM.
Glad you caught this. Yeah.
But here they are lying, saying that
which they both do quite often. Yes.
All the time. So okay.
Yeah.
Don't even. So did you watch Speak on It? Candy.
I did. You know, I always do my homework. Yes. I did watch it.
Great Speak on It.
Fantastic. Kenya was the guest, and that's always good.
Kenya looked amazing too.
Oh yes. Yes.
Holy moly. Like she looked better than I've seen her ever look. My God.
Yes.
So she said that she's like, the reason why this is such a big deal that he DM'd her was because there was a blog about Martell and she had commented on the blog saying, you guys, he is a good father though. At least there's that. Martell replied to her on the blog saying, thank you for saying that. Then he hit her up in the DMs to say, thank you for saying that nice thing about me. And she's like, nope.
Exactly.
I already saw you reply on the blog. I am not, because he's the type that he's never up to he's never up to nothing.
Right.
He's up to something.
Always.
So she was like, no, absolutely not. Not replying to you, sir. So that's why this was even anything. And then she also said that up until this point, it seemed like this was maybe a hookup, nothing major, but she straight up asks, so what are you guys doing? And Martell goes, yeah, we're exclusive. We're together. And she's like, oh. And then she says, I know how men can be, especially Martell. And he may say something like, oh, she tried to hit me up, tried to DM me. And she wanted to get ahead of it.
Yeah.
And if you watch it, Kenya's shady. Absolutely. She's shady for bringing this up on camera. Totally.
Yes.
But there is nothing legitimate about Martell.
No.
And if he really wants to prove he's a changed man, he better be prepared to take this shit.
Yes.
You know?
Because he has a lot to atone for. And I still believe, I think I've said it before, but I still wholly believe the reason Kenya always tries to document nowadays what other people's men do in relationship to her is because it goes all the way back to Apollo and Phaedra, where Apollo spent years lying, saying that Kenya's been after him and all this kind of stuff. And then once him and Phaedra get divorced, admits on camera that none of that was true. So it's everyone's called me a whore and a homewrecker and all this stuff for years. No. Now I'm going to tell you, any chance I get, no, I'm going to tell you up front on camera, this is the situation. This is what happened. He DM'd me. I didn't DM him. I defended him publicly, and then he started unsending and undeleting some damn DMs and stuff. So no, not doing that. So I absolutely get where Kenya's coming from. Do I think she waits till the cameras are around because she wants to make a good show? Yeah.
And that's what makes Atlanta so good.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's what makes. But meanwhile, I like though Candy's still dealing with dumbass Courtney, and I like how she so earnestly asks Sonya, why would she keep bouncing her head in my face?
Right.
She's so upset about it.
I have literally, the only thing I've been saying for months now is every time something happens, I'm about to headbutt this bitch. Every time.
You would.
It is the best quote to ever come out on Bravo. Oh God.
Okay, Sonya, we said it. She gets a second season. She deserves a second season because I think everyone should, unless they do an egregious thing, and they should never be as bad. Sonya.
You're not feeling Sonya.
The way she's trying to play both sides and not being definitively one side or the other.
Yeah.
No.
Because she wants to be over there with Marlo and Sheree, but I think in her mind she knows the fans don't want her over there. Like, they obviously want you over there with, like, Candy and Kenya and Drew.
Mhm.
Like, being over there with Sheree and Marlo is nothing but bad news. So I feel like people are rooting for her to go to the right side. She just won't do it. And I don't know if it's just that I don't know what it is. I don't know if, like, she feels like she's been embraced by one side more, which I don't think is true, because she's been on a whole, like, Disney World vacation with Candy and the family. So you would think that, like, after that, it's like, okay, let's see some alliance shifting over here. Let's go this way. You be, in with Candy, y'all dropping reels together, all this kind of stuff. So I think Sonya, all right, girl, all right.
Yeah, and also her storyline still feels very forced, so I'm gonna be dragging her this season.
Oh, okay. I will say, first episode, I thought it was if they focus on that, I think that's really interesting with the whole. I'm used to being the one that, like, the entire family revolves around, but now I'm not an Olympian anymore, and so now, like, I haven't changed at all, but they need me to change as a person. I thought that was, like, very genuine and very real. So, like, if they keep with that, very interested in that. But honestly, I think another great storyline would be if you started evicting motherfuckers from the house. It's too many of y'all in there. Like, it's too many people living in that damn house. I'm sorry. I don't care how many bedrooms there are. There are too many people living in that house. Start evicting people, Sonya. This is crazy.
When we get to the part where she lies to us.
Oh.
I'll get there and I'll point it out, because I thought the same thing. We'll get there. I was like, she lied.
Ooh. Okay.
She lied. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she lied. I also love that Todd says nothing this whole scene, the whole entire party, but he just is like security detail.
Yes.
Like, he doesn't say a word, but he just, like, steps in. He doesn't go, whoa, whoa, whoa. He doesn't do any of that. He just kind of steps in and, like, puts his hand up, or, like, puts his face in the middle of it, like, stop. No, everyone stay calm. Heath, too. Monietta's Heath, he does the same thing. It's like I swear they were paid a security fee to do to work the party. I'm not joking.
Yes.
But then, okay, let's get to the big blow up, right? Okay. Martell. This man is so practiced at gaslighting women who are trying to bust him for doing shit he's doing. He's so used to lying his way out of getting caught. Yes. That he goes into the immediate thing of, like, oh, check her. By the way, she hadn't accepted your message, Martell. So the fact that he goes, check her message, I bet she accepts them from everyone. I'm like, she didn't accept yours.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
It's so Martell to be. Give him a 1-minute rundown of Martell.
Okay. So the reason we are gonna be harder on Martell over here than probably the Love and Marriage Huntsville fan base is, which, don't get me wrong, they are hard on Martell because Martell deserves every bit of it. But the reason is because the men in general on Love and Marriage Huntsville are all kind of equally orbiting around the trashosphere. So it's a lot. Marceau, we never know if he's cheating or not. Martell is always cheating and stuff. So it's a lot. The reason why we now are, like, concerned about Sheree, because obviously it's one of our OGs, iconic Bravo figure. Like, everyone loves them some Sheree. Like, that's Sheree Whitfield. We like Sheree's an OG original housewife. Martell has been horrible since he stepped on TV. For, like, the first half of season 1 of Love and Marriage Huntsville, him and Melody tried to present like they were the perfect couple. They had gotten over this infidelity that he had, yada, yada, yada. But then at some point, Melody decides to let the walls down, and she decides to, like, just, like, full on be like, okay, you're a trash ass person. I hate you. I want a divorce, like, all this kind of stuff. She winds up pregnant. They have the baby. They try to reconcile, try to forget all this stuff. Martell, during that time, he's lobbying accusations against everyone else because, once again, just like with Kenya, he doesn't like the fact that people call him on his crap. And he feels like, no, you need to be defending me. I'm this amazing person. Don't ever go against me and all this kind of stuff. So he lobbies all kinds of baseless accusations against other people, which, of course, later on, when he's back friends with them, he has to backtrack and say it was baseless and all this kind of stuff. But then he has a whole baby outside of his marriage because he's been cheating on his wife with someone during the height of the pandemic, FYI. So out there talking about, oh, I'm going to the gym every day. I'm here, I'm there. Going to the gym at 10 p.m. During the height of the pandemic. Just dumb, like the dumbest shit. So he's out there cheating. He's got a baby. She finally leaves him. But then he spends the rest of his time trying to gaslight the hell out of the fans, the other cast members, but especially out of Melody Holt, his now ex-wife. They go back and forth so much because Martell tries to make it seem like he's just this amazing person and that he's dealing with this woman who just refuses to be on the same ground as him. We have children. We should just be amazing, yada, yada, yada. This current season, Melody is now like doing stuff on camera to show everyone this is who the real Martell is so that we see. Because you have to kind of take Melody's word for it, up until some certain points. But now she's showing like, he would always say that like, oh, okay, well, if you are going to have other people babysitting our kids while you're working, why not just have me? I'm their father. I'd love to have my kids. Let me have them, stuff like that. Which to the average person, you're like, yeah, that sounds fair. Like, yeah, he's the dad. Don't have a babysitter. Let him have them during that time, yada, yada, yada. One, Melody feels like that's a form of control, which, yeah, it is. But then two, she tries to do that this season on camera, and he's never available. I can't take the kids there. No, that's your day and all this kind of stuff. So now she's getting him while the cameras are up, showing him what kind of asshole he is, and he's only putting up a front all day long. Martell is the worst kind of person. If y'all think that Scandival is a whole thing, try introducing an outside baby to the equation. Like if Raquel turned up pregnant, then Martell and Tom Sandoval will be neck and neck.
No. I said the exact same thing. I'm like, he makes Sandoval not look as he's a serial cheater.
Yes, serial. Like it's so gross, gross.
No, the term where there's smoke, there's fire was invented for Martell.
Yes, and he's sprinkled in a little homophobia in there too because Melody's, is it her brother, I think, is gay, and he's like, I don't want my kids around your brother and all this kind of stuff. But of course he tries to play it off like it's other things. Like they almost come to blows on camera. It's a mess. So like Martell, I wish I had more hands so I can give him more thumbs down than I'm giving him right now. I wish I had more.
That is where we're at with Martell. So we don't feel bad for Martell. We also are kind of, we're a bit ashamed of Sheree too, because this is her choice. Mm-hmm. Like, it's one thing to get dick down, but it's another thing to be like, this is my man and I want you to respect him. No, you want a person that you can be proud of, and this is not someone to be proud of.
No, I would get it if like we had been seeing like a couple seasons of Martell being this like reformed guy trying his best to change, on good footing with Melody, like doing all this kind of stuff. No, every season he is actively a horrible person. So it's like, no, you're watching this show like the rest of us, and you're saying, you know what, that's gonna be my next man. It's like, girl, what huh?
This is the point too. Like, if he really wants to show that he's not the same guy that he's been portrayed as, then you're gonna have to accept that people are going to be coming out of the woodwork with some, and he's just going to have to sit through it like, you know what, guys, I know my reputation precedes me. I promise I really do care about Sheree. I really do. She's different and I want to change for her. But instead, he's like, look at my phone in their faces. And it was really not okay.
No.
At all.
It's a lot.
And the Sheree immediately excusing it because she's like, you disrespected him too. I'm like, no, dude, he disrespected her. And it's not the same, like they're going to say later, as the way Kenya got up in arms about Ross. That was just Kenya being fucking messy, not good. It was absolutely problematic. And Kenya still should answer for that because she was totally trying to like get out of her fucking up. By being like, he was aggressive. I was scared. It's like, no, he was actually talking to production. But this, different. And we are never going to feel bad for Martell over here. Okay?
Nope.
Never, 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 never. So it was beautiful and glorious when Kenya got to go off the way she did and said, you're an asshole. And if you did it to your ex-wife, you'll do it to Sheree. Once a cheater, always a cheater, you fucking piece of shit. No notes.
No notes.
But
I'm
then
pleased.
again, here's little Todd. Todd's just like standing there. He's not looking at anyone, and he's just right there too. They're just security. They're just like, all right, everybody. And then too, Sheree gets Martell away, and Todd is like walking off and just like turns around, like, is everyone good?
Right. We're all good now. Okay,
we're all good. Okay. He's like gets on his radio. He's like, all right, Martell is leaving. Martell is vacating the building.
Yes.
So weird.
Secret Service. Yes.
Secret Service. So bizarre.
Yes.
But Sheree's like, you're trying to create a narrative that's really not cool. I'm like, girl, no one has to create one.
No, fucking narrative. There's books written about this man. Like, stop it. Stop it.
Okay. We find out that Drew is going to be dealing with her dad's Alzheimer's, really progressing. But what's really sad is that Ralph is involved in her music career. Why is he on the cover of her music single too? He's all in the background of it. He doesn't know what a producer does. Producers are not on the cover, you idiot.
Right. What the hell? Like, no.
It's so him.
God, he just always has to be. That's the reason why he showed up to this party instead of being with his wife in Chicago. Or you weirdo. You're just weird.
How do you say out loud, we're having some family emergency? Did you hear yourself? You said we. So sir, okay. Bye. And he should not be talking about how Courtney is his cousin, knowing what happened. I would just have left that off camera. I would have been like, we're not going to forget it.
Right. Yeah, we listen. I need them to clarify. Like, they say they're cousins, but like, I need to like know if it's like true blood relation or if it's like, oh no, that's my girl. You know, we've been knowing each other a long time. Because then I'm looking at you like, okay, were you in Tampa a few years ago? Like, what's going on, Courtney? Okay, girl.
Yeah, I wouldn't be associated with Ralph. But Candy and Sonia. Okay, here's where she lies.
Yes. Okay.
So Sonia, she wants her storyline to. She doesn't want it to be what her family really is going through, which is we have a lot of resentment towards you. You want the world to revolve around you, but we don't want to.
Right.
She doesn't want it to be that.
Nope.
So she gives this confessional. That her family wants us all to live together, but my husband wants them to move on. But in the same exact breath, she's telling Candy that her mom wants to move to Florida and her sister hates living there. So I'm like, honey, you can't fake a storyline when your family is going to be given confessionals where they're like, I don't want to be here. You can't hear me?
Oh, I can now. Okay. It popped back. I don't know what just happened.
Ooh, it says my internet connection is unstable.
Uh-oh.
That's wonderful.
It's okay. We're recording our own audios. That's the beauty of
that.
There we go.
Okay. Wonderful. Well, guys, if this cuts out, there we go.
Oh, you're going again.
Wonderful.
So you popped in now. Uh-oh.
Oh, great.
Wonderful. We made it through an hour and a half without problems.
Hour and a half without problems. Can you hear me? No? Yes? Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm scared to start talking.
I know.
I'm scared. All right, I'm gonna start. Yes.
The little yellow by your Wi-Fi symbol has gone away, so I think you're okay.
I had a yellow symbol.
Yeah, you know how like when you look down, like it shows like Emily Hanks or Kendrick Tucker, either one, and then it has like some bars down there. They turned yellow for a minute. Yeah.
Oh, that explains why my phone had that weird beeping going on. Okay. Oh, all right. Well, I gotta hurry though. Okay. Okay. Kendrick has to get you on the recording. That's why we're hurrying.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
We got a little, you know, push.
A little window. Okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
All right, guys. Sorry about the technical difficulties. I'm not going to edit this out because I think it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
That's just reality, right?
Mm-hmm.
But okay, so she wants the storyline to be that her family just wants to stay there, but Ross is like, I just want it to be the two of us. But she is telling Candy that her mom wants to live in Florida, and her sister clearly hates living there. So don't lie to me.
Right.
And she says the potential we have, this is in her confessional, the potential we have to work together and do great things, I don't think we even tapped the surface. They don't want to work with you.
Okay. Now see, I missed all of that. Yeah.
I clocked it. I'm like, you lying to me and I catch it. Okay. But here's the thing. This scene was like, blah, blah, blah. You talk about your husband. Candy, blah, blah, blah. Talk about issues with Todd. And let me tell you something right now, Candy. If this ends up being where you guys work through the things like you always do, I'm going to be pissed. Okay? Either you guys end the season and like you're getting a divorce, or you don't do this fucking storyline again. I'm irritated.
Yes, I do get that, because it's always kind of like y'all are just busy. That's what it is. But if neither one of y'all are willing to like actually change schedules or something like that, then I don't know what to say, because either focus on the businesses on the show or focus on all the other drama that you have going on, because you have like a ton of drama this year. That's the thing. Like, you have Courtney out of nowhere. The Escape Girls have been giving you hell for the past like few months. Like, you've got things going on, so like you don't need to like
I don't need a Todd
in.
drama.
Yeah, you don't need to shoehorn that in. Like,
he's so boring. Like I don't need to talk about him. Okay. But anyway, we get into the Courtney drama. And Sonya, you're fucking busted. Okay. And
this was kind of glorious. I love
busted.
This. Yes.
I love Candy going, now when she was saying all this, that I'm ghetto and stuff, what were you doing? And Sonya's like, well, I was I wrote, she looks like a lame ass loser. That was as eloquent as I could get. You look so, because Candy's like, I know you're hanging out with Marlo and Sheree, and she's and you're all giggling like, and that's what Sonya's doing. The editor's flashing back to, she's like, what were you doing? And then they show it like her just laughing.
Those damn editors and producers, they will get you every time. We haven't gotten to that scene yet, but we'll talk about it. We'll get there. But we know those editors are the same as like the Potomac shady ass editors, because we get an appearance from Eric, who we know from Potomac. He's been over there, you know, putting Candace in a shuttle when Monique was running around the building. Like, we know Eric, we know him over there in Atlanta too. So
you're talking about when they go to Blaze. Let's talk about it now. When they go to, but did you? Candy was correct though when I liked what she said about in
This is the best part of Speak On It to me. Yes.
She said, if you, in case you don't know what we're talking about, when they don't immediately discuss why Melvin's arm is in a sling, she does ask, how are you feeling?
Right.
And he's like, it is what it is. And then Eric comes in and goes, are we just not going to talk about the elephant in the room? And they're like, well, we can't. I mean, because like, what were they going to say? How was it when you got shot?
Right.
And Candy was like, I felt like they were trying to make me look like I wasn't like talking about it, but they already have a confessional of me talking about it. And like, I'm not just going to have him like just talk about it openly. Like, so what's it like being shot? And I just felt like they really try to create this little weird spin, like we're hiding it, but
right.
we're not. And I thought that was interesting.
Kenya's follow-up to that too, I think was fantastic, because I think it like really, it's what like us who kind of put ourselves in a producer's shoes watching these shows. You know, if you've been watching reality TV so long, you kind of do that naturally. Sometimes you're like, oh, I bet the producer told him to do this or that, like that kind of stuff. I love that Kenya like flat out said, like, I hate it sometimes when producers jump in and say like, okay, we got 5 minutes left, address the elephant in the room or do like this and that. And it's like, damn, I was trying to get to it organically. That's how we like make this show look naturally. But now it's going to look like a super forced show because I'm like, oh, okay, we only got this time. Why did that bitch hit you or something? It's like all that kind of stuff. It's like, well, damn, I was trying to make this natural like we do on this show. We're so good at that. But now it's like, well, no point in that. I had to hurry up and get to it. So it's like, it would have, I think that the way that their conversation was going, it would have happened. It would have happened like, it would have, come out slowly. But, one, there are legalities around it. So I definitely get that. But also, two, I don't think they're going to get into all that. I think they would have addressed it in a natural way. Like, how's the arm been healing? Like, what have you been going through and all that kind of stuff? I don't think Candy needed to like turn to camera and say, for those of you unaware, there was a shooting at one of my restaurants and he was the victim. Now let's go back to him and see how he's feeling. Like, no, we don't need that kind of like fourth wall break. It would have happened naturally, I think. Candy isn't one to like, I feel like there have been a lot of cast members across all of the franchises that are actively always hiding their real life. PK Dorit. But I think that Candy really isn't one of those people. I think Candy is one of the most like upfront housewives that we have, we can always rely on Candy to talk about. Like, if it was in the press, it's gonna come up, and if she doesn't bring it up, somebody else on the cast is, and she's gonna talk about it. So I don't think Candy's one we have to worry about in that kind of situation.
I definitely agree, and it really put a great context to it when she said, "I wasn't trying to hide it. Like, he's in a sling."
Right. Exactly.
But it made it. They really gave it that. They made it look like that. They really gave her that narrative, and I was like, "Well, that sucks for her, man."
Right. I also love that we got not one but two Candy and the Gang appearances on this episode. I love that show.
Phillip.
So we got
Hi, my
Phillip.
Phillip.
Hi, Phillip. Which they definitely need there. They need Phillip everywhere because Phillip is no nonsense. We love us some Phillip. And Marvin. Like, I love this. Last season we got Patrick and Safari. So like I love the Candy and the Gang, like, people coming around.
Was I calling him Melvin?
Oh, what did I say? Maybe
What
it is
did I
Melvin.
say? Is it Melvin or Marvin?
Oh shit. Maybe Melvin. Oh damn it. Okay.
I feel like you might be right.
No, okay. You continue. I'm gonna look it up.
I think you might be right. Okay. Either way, we do love Candy and the Gang, and I just want to say something. I'm gonna talk shit about Todd.
Melvin.
Oh, okay. Yay. Yes.
Melvin. Yes.
I'm gonna talk shit about Todd real quick because this man is talking about opening another restaurant, but he can barely operate the ones he has now.
And you know what? Candy's gotten on his ass about that in the past 2 seasons, where she's like, we have so many projects that are just up in the air because he always wants to do something new. It's like, and Candy is such a perfectionist. She's like, no, let's make this perfect first before we try to go on to something else. It makes no sense. You're always trying to like look ahead. I get it. Looking ahead. Perfect, to think about your future, all that kind of stuff, but don't leave like a whole business unfinished. I'm not gonna go to your second restaurant if the first one is ass. Like, what kind of sense does that make?
It sucks for the people like a Phillip who has to try their best to make them operate when he's like, you won't do the things. Remember, he wouldn't get the generator for OLG.
And that area of Atlanta was like always experienced like rolling blackouts. So it's just like, oh, well, we just got to wait, you guys. Sorry. It's like, what?
FYI, that for a health department, that's like really, you're not allowed to have certain products like meats and produce not refrigerated for a period of time. Okay. And in that humidity. So yeah, you need a fucking generator, dude. Weird. So that kind of stuff, like you can't treat profit margins on restaurants are too small to be like, this is my money maker. I'm just going to keep opening these and not paying attention.
Right.
Asshole.
Weird.
So Todd. It's so Todd.
It is.
Okay, but here we go, Sonia. Then she goes to fucking dinner with Sheree, and I'm like, do you see what you're doing here? Do you see what you're doing? We all see what you're doing. Because then she's totally co-signing. You need to do your research, by the way, Sonia. You do not want to be aligning yourself with Martell. Because you're co-signing Sheree being like, it's just like she did about Ross last season where Kenya called him aggressive. I'm like, it's not the same. It's not the same. Yes, she did that. I didn't like it, but it's not the same.
Not the same at all. Stop it.
So don't trust me, Sonia. You don't want to be connected to this.
Right.
Like
it was
this.
Smart. I'll give it to Sheree though. Very smart move on her part because she knew Sonya was going to take that bait like immediately. Like, oh, that's right. It was right. Like what she did to Aaron. Like, oh, wow. I didn't think about that. So smart on her. Like her and Marlo are good at like rallying the troops to like go against Candy, especially. So
you're right. That's a gift. They have a gift for that.
They do. Candy especially. They like really love going against Candy. So it's always
a gift for that. That's so true. They really do. Yep. But wait, Drew and Ralph go to the studio and they're talking about the music, and Ralph demanded they bring out that full keyboard so that he could also show off his skills.
Exactly. That was why he wanted to do that. Nothing to do with Drew. Like,
she could have sang a cappella. She could have sang along with the track, but he's like, "Wait, you got a full keyboard? Shut the hell up, you asshole!" God. He's the worst.
I don't know what, like, Candy and Drew have like developed this great relationship. I don't know why she won't just say, "Hey, I'm going to get back into music. You have this amazing production company. Like, can we work together?" Because I'm sure Candy is a money maker. She knows how to make money if she knows how to do nothing else in this world. She would have immediately signed Drew for like 5 tracks, like put out a little EP or something like that. They would have been amazing R&B songs, and Drew, you would have got your foot out there. It might have helped you sign a deal with like another label if you wanted to. Like, I don't know why you're wasting your time with Ralph and whoever the hell
I bet
this
Ralph
is.
was the reason. I bet Ralph was like, let's talk to Candy. And Candy was like, I'm not doing it. Ralph was like, I would like to have final cut. I bet she was like, when you're done with Ralph, let's talk.
And you know what, Candy, you know what, now that I think about it, she just got done dealing with those escape girls. So she's probably like, I'm not trying to do music with none of y'all asses. Like, get out of here.
I'm done doing this, okay?
Exactly.
I'm solo. Bye. I'm out.
Yes. Man. By the way,
yeah.
if y'all are fiending for Atlanta and you did not watch Queens of R&B,
oh my God,
do yourself a damn favor. Like,
was it 6 episodes?
6 episodes.
It's such a good watch.
Fantastic. Go watch all of the supplemental like YouTube videos and all this stuff around them. You will be. I can't speak enough about it.
It's so
amazing
good.
binge. Oh my God.
So, it's not like it's not what you expect it to be. It's nothing like a Bravo show you've seen. The drama is so high stakes.
Yes. It is real drama that's been like lingering for like decades now, like literally.
And the reason why it's such a lightning in a bottle season is because I don't think that they expected all that shit to come to the surface. No. So they're like, cameras down, cameras off. And you're like, we already caught it. Haha, we already caught it.
It's literally like, it's similar to, because you know how I feel about Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills, God, I just can't. But the reason why that season with what was it, season 11 or whatever was so great was because you're not going to get that again where someone's husband gets arrested for like all this high stakes stuff. We got to talk about it. The people are actually questioning her, like all this kind of stuff. You're not going to get that again. So like it was such like lightning in a bottle. That season every week had us hooked because we didn't know how it was going to turn out. It's the same situation because we've always known Escape has like problems and this kind of stuff like that, but like the way it like spilled over, like the sisters were beefing. Ooh. They were beefing with SWV, and SWV don't bother nobody. They were beefing with SWV. Like it was a mess. All 6 episodes. Latasha's husband, the shadiest person on. Oh my God, I can't.
No, you guys, it's trust. It's such good. If you need a show, it's such a good watch.
And it ties directly in because like Candy keeps saying, she's like, the reason I'm so activated this season of Housewives is because I just got done shooting that show and all of that energy carried over. So I'm like, I'm not dealing with this shit from anybody. That's why she wants to headbutt a bitch, because she couldn't headbutt Latasha Scott because she got to make music with her. That's the only reason.
It's so true. No, you guys, it's such a good watch. Mm-hmm. Right, speaking of, well, I wouldn't say good. Sheree's Warehouse. That
all them people's orders just going nowhere. Yeah,
that god awful logo. What is that?
Who designed that shit? Like what?
It's like Kenya goes, it's like the Dallas Cowboys thing. I'm like, that meets like the Stussy. Remember Stussy?
Yes, I don't know what that's supposed to be, and the fact that we've waited a decade and that's the logo you've come up with, really?
It's so dated. It's like it looks like a sports emblem or something. It is so bizarre.
It was so weird.
And then I like Sheree going, I was on cloud 9 when I finished my fashion show, and they show some of the pieces, none of which are available to purchase.
No. Entirely different collection. That was like, if you didn't get it that day off the model, you will never see it again. Sorry.
It's a merch store. You have a merch store, girl.
Exactly.
Which you could have launched 100 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm embarrassed. But anyway, Kenya talks a little bit about her man, but then they get into what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, look, they go back and forth. There's almost no point in dissecting it because Sheree has
selective amnesia.
So I didn't remember this. I didn't remember that Sheree admitted she never graduated high school.
Oh, me neither. Did she
Yeah.
say that during the scene?
No, I said in my recap last week, I was like, I'm not trying to be shady or insulting, but remember last season we said that, or maybe I just said it, that she like has like a cognitive, like she doesn't quite get things that seem like when she missed the van to go to Sonya's shoot and she like really couldn't get it. So I was like, it just seems like she doesn't get stuff. And people commented last week like, well, she didn't graduate high school. And she says it, I guess, in like the first season. And I was like, oh, well, okay.
What?
Because she doesn't have kind of like basic, I learned this lesson with this person. Now I'm going to take those lessons and apply them this way. Because the argument with Kenya was odd. Because she's like, the way she's arguing is sort of like that knucklehead, like bad, ignorant arguing where it's like, so it's okay for you to defend yourself, but he can't defend himself. It's like, no, not if he's going to be all like disrespectful. Well, like, and then when Kenya goes, it's hoes before bros, and Sheree literally couldn't figure out what she did there. So she's like,
right.
No, it's bros before. It's like, Kenya's like, I know, you see what I did? I reversed it. She's like, oh, okay, I get it. So it's almost like there's no point in arguing this. And I almost feel bad trying to explain it to Sheree.
You know what? I'll take it even a step further. Sheree is really, I think it's one of her arguing tactics now at this point. She is one of those people that her go-to, you know how people have different go-to, like, you know, on Married to Medicine, Dr. Heaven, like, your mama. Every time someone says it, like, that's her go-to no matter what. Sheree's go-to is, oh, I don't remember that part of the conversation. No matter what. So she always comes in with like her game plan. And if you say something that like wrecks her game plan, she just purposely, oh, I don't remember that part, so she can continue down the linear path that she had already created in her mind. And she was going to stick with that no matter what.
Wow, you just
every
nailed
single
it.
time.
And then they give and then that's why the editors have to come in with that flashback. Like, here she is responding to that part. So clearly she heard that part.
Exactly.
Liza Minnelli. Yeah, no, because then Sheree gets to use this. You have to stop labeling these black men and black women. Everybody is not mad. I'm like, again, great tactic.
Right.
Smart, but not
applicable to Martell Holt ever in any episode, in any show ever.
Martell Holt is not applicable.
Right. No.
So, all right. Okay.
And I get, because I will say too, there were fans online agreeing with both parties. There were some saying that, oh yeah, this is what Kenya does, and this is this and that. And there were people saying like, no, Sheree is being dumb. She knows exactly what Kenya's doing. That's Sheree trying to like, you know, people, I don't want to say that that's like a buzzword, but that's like, it's like a, you know, something that you can use to kind of divert from what Kenya's actually saying in that moment. It is aggressive to like take your phone and like shove it in someone's face and like that kind of stuff. I don't think it was, you know, it was one point, I don't know if it was on Speak On It or the episode, she said abusive. I don't know if abusive is the right word, but I think aggressive applies. I think that the way his tactic is, how he's constantly saying this kind of stuff, I think he purposely kept going back and forth with Kenya, because Kenya at no point during that argument hyped it up. No, she waited and like the final straw broke, and that's when it got into like a full-fledged argument.
Agreed.
He kept coming back wanting that moment. Like he was the full catalyst of that. Yeah. Full catalyst. Yeah. So like stop it.
And believe me, I could see what Sheree was trying to do, but I'm like, this is Martell. It's different, because the thing is, he could have said, yeah, I tried to DM you, but instead you lied first. Why'd you lie first? Why was that your go-to?
Right.
Now Sheree's going, I remember him say, he showed me that. I was just being funny and let her say, oh, what did he say to you? I'm like, no, you didn't. At first you guys were acting like you had never heard of it. You said, oh, she's lying. Then you switch it to, oh yeah, no, I remember that. It was just this and that. Bullshit. You're a liar. You're used to lying, because I'm sure you're just waiting on someone else at this party who you've probably tried to talk to come out, and you're going to lie about them too.
Exactly.
So this
'Cause,
is
I mean,
just how Martell is.
Because when they say the streets were talking, the streets were talking. There were a lot of people saying these things about
Immediately.
Martell has other people. I think the big rumor was he was going around like kind of not vetting, but like going to a couple of different reality TV stars, like some Love and Hip Hop people, some other people that
I
are
remember
big in the
those,
Atlanta scene. Yeah, going around them trying to see like if anybody potentially is looking to date and all this kind of stuff. And of course, Sheree. Listen, I don't know if this was the case.
Sheree did it.
Right. But of course, Sheree took the bait. So,
And Sheree is trying to stay relevant because she does need this check.
Yes.
And so it's not that far-fetched. And, what a God. All right, here we go.
Sure.
So just so we're clear, totally Team Kenya on this one. That doesn't mean I don't see what Kenya's done in the past. I'm just saying on this one, Sheree's trying to utilize the past to like discredit it. I'm like, no.
Yes.
No.
All the time. And Sheree, you lost when you said that Martell had already told you. So sorry, sis. We saw that. You didn't think that producers would include all that extra stuff that they did. So we see you, sis.
So then why is he lying? Like, why does his first go-to to lie? So it's bad, actually. You shouldn't admit that he told you, because then here he is lying. Like, see, she doesn't put all the stuff together.
Exactly.
Jesus. All right, we did it. Boo. A little bit over, but tell Norm sorry. And guys, if you haven't already checked out Kendrick's podcast, check it out. Reality and Comics 2. Don't forget to follow him on Instagram at Reality and Comics 2. He will be back next week, of course, to keep this going. Thank you, Kendrick.
Thank you.
So good to have you back.
Always. I know it feels good to be back. Hi, guys.
All right, guys. Love you. Mean it. Bye. Mwah. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you did, would you mind leaving me a 5-star rating and review on whatever platform you are listening? If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget there's the super thanks option down at the bottom, the little button with the $sign and the heart. And also I'm on buymeacoffee.com/SheSpeaksBravo if you want to buy me a little coffee or 2 or 5. And my Patreon, that is where I'm covering all of the classic Bravo jams. If you want to follow me over there and subscribe, link is in the description. And follow me on Instagram and TikTok at She Speaks Bravo. And whoever the guest was for today, all their information is always in the episode description. So if you want to follow them and check them out, check there for the info. And any of the sponsor codes that I mentioned in this episode will also be in the description. I love you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I'll see you next time. Bye.